I have no intro prepared for this week. Alright.
That's the best way to finish.
That's the best way to start. I was gonna come up with something, but I just couldn't come up with anything. Alright, I guess the big news of the day is Spring Split is over! Week 9 is over, and yeah, so let us know how your fantasy leagues went. If we have helped you or if we have screwed you over. I've definitely screwed myself over a couple of times, so I'm not quite sure if we even trust our own podcast. Yeah. With that said, we have not discussed what we're going to do for winners and losers of our league. Any ideas?
I honestly don't know, especially since I won. I don't know what I'm supposed to win, but I don't know. If you guys want to leave in the comments below, let us know. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe you guys should treat me to some bubble tea or something. Shit.
Since Michael dropped out, technically Randy lost.
Technically.
Technically Randy lost since Michael dropped out.
I just got here.
Yeah, well. Maybe winner has to make the loser do something. I don't know. Anyways, we'll figure that out in subsequent episodes. So yeah.
All right, let's introduce ourselves a little bit, in case this is the first time you're watching us.
Oh right, yeah. I'm woefully unprepared. I can't even read off the Google Doc that's literally in front of my face. Hi, I'm Max. I have been part of this podcast since the start. I'm the graphics guy. I'm terribly bad at League of Legends, therefore I'm playing Fantasy League instead. And even then, I'm not that much great at it. So I guess I'm just a loser in general.
And he's our resident scrub lord. I have to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, I'm the scrub lord. I'm the scrub lord.
Randy?
Okay, I'm Randy. I was just grabbed off the street. I don't know what I'm doing. I just showed up to fill the spot. And the whole strategy is to not embarrass myself too much. And I'm terrible at League. Go ahead.
That's it. I'm Dan.
I'm your terrible at League. Period.
I'm Dan. I'm your friendly neighborhood Phil. I will get you fed, but only if you're on the opposite team for me. Otherwise, you're just gonna rage at me and tell me to uninstall.
Yeah, our intros are really crisp in the first 5 episodes, and now we're just dicking around.
Well, anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Welcome to the All.In Fantasy LCS podcast. We're going to pretty much recap every week of the LCS, but the spring split at least completed, so you're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks before summer split starts. But once that begins, we're going to continue making predictions for the coming LCS weeks. We'll also talk about our own All-In Fantasy LCS League. And if you like to skip ahead in the videos to certain segments and everything, that'll be on this side over here. We'll leave annotations over here. And if you want to watch some of our previous videos, you can click on the box up over here with the little eye thing. And under me, down there, you can click the subscribe button if you want to just follow along and see what we do. And hopefully we're going to bring out some new content in the future as well too, so I look forward to that.
Alright.
Hey, where's Zisha and where's T-Money? Where's Zisha and where's T-Money? They've been lonely on this podcast for a while.
Wait, let Randy go first.
It seems like this is...
Alright, yeah, Randy has to go. I can't even read off the Google Doc.
Max.
Alright guys, try to. For those of you that want to follow along with our All-In Fantasy LCS League, head over to the description box down below for a link that'll take you directly to our most recent week's matchups. Without further ado, here is Max presenting the LCS Week 9 recap.
And just so that you guys know... We are not under the influence doing this. We apologized for our scrubbery this week. But anyways, go ahead.
I think we just... Okay, well, it's a Monday. I just got off work, and I'm not woefully unprepared for this. Anyways, yeah.
T-Money and
yeah, so... Yeah, it's Isha's girlfriend's birthday today, and T-Money is having some family stuff to take care of, and she's like up and about. So it's been just the three of us for the past few weeks. Don't worry, we're not evil people. That's why it's not like they didn't ditch us for like better places or whatever. It's just that
Yeah, it's
they
not
have better
like
things
they
to do.
don't want to be friends
That's
with
what you
us
think.
anymore or something like that.
Yeah. I hope they don't hate us.
Or try to, never mind.
But
Off topic.
Okay, one last thing. One last thing to add to our intro. The reason that we also have our own fantasy league as a backdrop is because we do want to take a more case study approach to what we're doing and the content we are, sharing with you guys on this podcast. And to do that properly, of course, we should have our own fantasy league where we can really talk in depth about our strategies, our gambles, and intuitions, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And you can see what we're doing well and what we're not doing well. And if we're doing well, you can learn from us. And if you're not doing well, then you can blame us.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I guess.
So in terms of
yeah, go ahead. Take over.
in terms of all right, okay. In terms of recapping this week, I guess we'll just go through the top 10 scorers in each category. So that is the 6 categories of teams: top, jungle, mid, ADC, and support. And then we'll just talk about people that scored well, why they scored well, and if there's anything we can take away from it. So I guess we're gonna start off with teams first, because when we're talking about teams, we can kind of also talk over each individual game, and it's probably a good way to kind of segment into what we're trying to talk about. So without further ado, the top scoring team this week is Team Liquid. Yeah.
I've been pretty big on this team all season long, just because I have Piglet and Dardoch. And Liquid I trust. They're like probably my third favorite team in the NA LCS. They played really well against Dignitas, which is expected. But they played extremely well against Cloud9 as well, and as you can see, they got 21 points each game for a total of 42 points as being the number 1 team of week 9. And then,
Hey, you know what? There's one extra thing I want to throw in there. Team Liquid, with their 42-point week, is it's a highest scoring non-Clown Fiesta week for an LCS team. Dignitas also scored 42 points last week, but we know exactly how Dignitas week went. Team Liquid has the cleanest 42-point week.
yeah. Second place came in the CLG. CLG had a pretty solid week as well too. They played Energy and Dignitas. Did you guys watch those games at all?
I watched both of them. Honestly, there's really nothing much to say about CLG. It's like your typical CLG game, very thorough, did very well. Darshan was a Gnar, that was pretty interesting. But then honestly, it's just a typical day in the office for CLG.
And the game against Dignitas, nothing really special there. I've been saying for weeks now that Dignitas deserves to be relegated. And Shifter needs to find a new team.
Alright, G2.
G2. They played against Splice and Unicorns of Love. Also a very solid week. 21 points, 18 points for a total of 39. And I think the only game I watched from G2 was G2 and Splice, and there wasn't really much to say about that game either. It's pretty straight domination, and I think G2 is number 1 in EU.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
They got rid of their they dealt with their over reckless playstyle, and now they're a lot more calculated. But honestly, this result from G2, another day in the office. 39 weeks is, it's probably a top scoring week on most weeks. So, you know what? This is exactly what we expected from G2. Another day in the office.
And I'm happy about that. I have G2 as my team, and I also have Trick and Perks, so pretty solid.
Yeah.
Number 4, we have Origin.
Oh. Yeah,
what?
No, just Origin with a high EU high.
Yeah, Origin had a split mid.
I'm just gonna... Yep. I'm gonna throw this out there. Even the game... Okay, granted, it's against the Giants. Even that game with with Power of Evil, Origin looks very solid. They were very decisive, and they were very decisive in what they were trying to do, and they executed things to a T. Granted, as against Giants, they usually have let people do things against them, but then 19 points is 19 points. But the game against Fnatic, though.
The game against Fnatic, I didn't watch any of day 2 of EU, so I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, Peke dumpstered Fevin. Basically amazing. Ganked mid once, and then the game just went off from there, and Origin played the macro game to a T, and they systematically dismantled Fnatic. Fnatic had their moments here and there, which they looked like they were going to come back, but then in general, yeah, Origin looked really good this week.
Peke, he's the
Small
hero that
sample
they
size.
need.
Small sample size.
Peke's the hero they need.
Small sample size. Small sample size.
No,
Fnatic hasn't played well.
We had seasons
Yeah,
of
Fnatic
sample
was so
size. Since season 1.
No, they had 8 weeks They had 8 weeks of trash. Okay. 7.5 weeks of trash.
But those
I'm
7.5
still
weeks
cautious.
were without Peke.
I'm not touching Origin next split. I'm not touching Origin next split unless they win EU miraculously. Then I'm not touching Origin.
I think
moving
I
on.
would believe in Origin if Peke played the entire split. If he plays the entire split, I think I would believe them.
But you're never gonna know, because they literally decide to throw an Peke
Yeah.
the day before.
Yeah.
That's why, like Max say, I wouldn't touch Origin
I wouldn't touch Origin.
Yeah.
unless I had
I
that
tried.
insurance.
Remember, they don't have a
I
coach.
got my feelings hurt.
They don't have a coach, so they're gonna make these decisions on the fly.
I got my feelings hurt from Origin. Never again. Never again.
All right, Immortals surprisingly in the 5th spot.
The game's ended too quick.
Yeah, the game's ended too quick. It was pretty much a systematic dismantle from Immortals again. Unfortunately, they didn't take enough towers. TSM basically just gave them open mid, didn't they? It was like
I
they
mean,
only
they
took
kind
8
of
towers that game.
held on decently until about the 15-20 minute mark, and that's when Immortals
And then they
just
just,
started pressuring them like crazy. Yeah, TSM is.
I think TSM had quite a few questionable situations in that game. So
I have been hating on TSM for a long time, so I'm pretty happy to see them lose. I love seeing them get
I stopped
destroyed.
believing.
It just their confidence is just out the window right now. They're so
well, it's
depressed.
TSM has been dominant for way too long. It's about time for some other teams to come up and steal the spotlight. I mean, C9 had their downs, and now TSM should have their downs. Let's CLG have the limelight for a little bit.
Same as EU, right? Fnatic and Origin are not doing so well, and we got Vitality, H2K, G2 coming in.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
Number
Alright,
6, Renegades. I told you to believe.
I was so worried that they had a small sample size against kind of easy opponents, and therefore they had a freak showing. I guess this week they're not up against super high echelon teams, but man, whatever. 2 wins,
I didn't predict
3
them
wins,
to get
3 wins. Because
6.
they won the tiebreaker too.
Yeah, I didn't
They
predict them
beat
to get
bad
6th
teams.
place.
I'm not impressed.
But I predicted them at 7th, so that's
beat-
close enough. Yeah, they were playing
beat
against
bad
bad teams.
I don't
For
understand.
sure.
Echo Fox is okay.
Yeah, that's
Echo
okay.
Fox is definitely a mid-run team.
But that's what I
Team
made.
Impulse.
That was the argument I made last week. I knew Renegades was going to do good because they're playing against bad teams anyways.
Yeah.
That's why I put them in. I didn't think they were
They
going to
know
do
what?
that.
I
good.
teams
think-
before.
Renegades these 2 weeks look like if they played the entire split with this lineup, they would have been at least
Top 3?
around Liquid's level.
Liquid's
4.
level? Top
Top
4?
5. Liquid's
No.
level. Liquid's level.
No, not even. No.
The current
No.
Renegades?
Just flat out no.
The current Renegades is my second favorite team. In NA.
The current Renegades
current
making 8
Renegades.
wins. They might have gotten 2 extra wins. That's about it. 2 extra wins. That's it.
Are you crazy? Ninja is a beast.
They went 3.
Seraph is a beast.
They went 3 and. Okay, in regular season they went 3-1 and they won the tiebreaker. So technically they went 4-1, and they lost to that one game with Cloud9 where they couldn't close. But that was also the first game they played on the big stage.
All I'm saying is, I think they would have gotten 2 extra wins.
All I'm saying is they look like they're going to make it back into the LCS and they're going to dumpster people in the promo tournaments.
I hope so. I want to see them
Not a
back.
believer.
Because you know who I'm going for. You know which guys I'm picking.
Yeah, make things interesting, boys. All right, 7 H2K. Oh,
H2K.
I don't know, man.
H2. What?
They had a rough week.
They had a tough week. Unicorns. Unicorns had a really
It did
good
not
week.
have a tough week. The Unicorns had a good week, and they.
Unicorns had a good week. Yeah.
I don't know if H2K got exposed because they just couldn't team fight as well as Unicorns. But then, even the second game against Elements,
Unicorns has been struggling
like-
I
for a
think they're just
while.
phoning it in.
So
No, I think it's just the last week. They just didn't give them enough respect.
yeah.
but
Yeah,
Forgiving
no,
got
30
playoffs.
points is.
Forgiving got shit on against Steelback.
Yeah.
He knew he didn't play well either. He knew he's like, yeah, I got shit on. They almost won that too, didn't they? And then Unicorns made a comeback. They're pretty much
No, it wasn't
in their
even.
base.
Unicorns. I wouldn't say they made a comeback, but basically they played PvE until inhibs, and then they started team fighting, and then Ishka just didn't win the team fights.
Right. Oh yeah, but they got 30
Yeah,
points.
people were like, "Oh, you know what? 30 points is not that great for H2K considering the type of team that they are."
Yeah.
But then,
This is
it
pretty
is
much
what it is.
the bar where you set, and like any team above this is doing pretty well. 30 points, you're doing pretty solid, decent, and then once you get a little bit lower, those are the teams that are kind of like,
Yeah. Usually 30 points is about the break points because, it's 15 points in a win is acceptable. Like
Yeah.
14 points in a win is like, you suck. But then, so like 15 points, so like 30 points for a team, and then that's acceptable. Unless you're in a deep league where you you're not running a team where you feel like they're gonna go 2-0 that week.
right.
But then, HTK expects at least like 35.
Number 8, we had Vitality. Actually, EU itself, they had a pretty bad. Day 1 was pretty bad for EU.
Day one. Day one was, I don't know what's going on.
Except for G2. G2 is the only team that did well, but
Yeah.
I don't know how Vitality lost to Rocket. I think that was the second time they lost to Rocket. Was it? I don't know.
They literally beat, the second time they lost to Rocket, but they were winning until they lost. They were up against the base and they lost 2 consecutive team fights, and then the game was over.
Yeah. It was pretty ugly. And then the second game against Spice, that's where they made it up. 19 points in that game. Pretty much did everything right. They looked like Vitality in that game. They just took full control of the game and just dominated. Cloud9. Cloud9 in 9th place with 23 points. This is where it dropped off significantly, from 29 points to 23 points. But first game against Echo Fox. Did you guys watch that game at all?
Convincing win. Yeah,
Convincing
it was
win?
just convincing win. Nothing much to say.
I don't think I watched this game.
It wasn't convincing, but it was. It wasn't convincing, but then it was just like your typical Cloud9 stuff. And the game against Liquid, however, they just didn't have a foot in the game, and they just never had a chance.
Yeah, Liquid played really well against C9. I thought it was going to be more of a competition, but Liquid had full control of that game. Full control.
Yep.
And I really liked...
It was Rush on Lee Sin too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I really liked the Dardoch versus Rush. That was that was fun. It's kind of like an in-your-face type of thing. Number 10, Elements, 22 points. Again, day 1, I don't know how they beat Fnatic. Did really well too, 19
Fnatic
points.
didn't play that well. Fnatic thinks they will.
Yeah. And then H2K, they got shit on. Only got 3 points, but
Yep.
they still managed to get into the top 10 somehow.
Yeah, if you have elements, then okay.
Alright,
Okay.
so let's move on to the top 10 top laners. Alright, what do we have here? You want to take it away, Randy?
Hold on.
We have Huni at number
With
1.
the second and the only person to get 10 kills
And
in the LCS this split.
might I mention, from last week, I was the only person that predicted Huni would be first. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
I actually don't know why I didn't put Uni first.
You put him third.
Right got it right.
Put him third.
At
Yeah.
least everybody else put him on second.
But as
But
far
yeah,
as that
Huni,
goes, we're
on-
fairly pretty off for the rest of this top 10. But yeah, the pentakill. He got a penta and a triple kill in the same game, which is solid. 32.55 points. And surprisingly, that wasn't even his best game of the week. His game against TSN,
Yeah.
he just completely shit on everyone. That game, he had, 33.02? 65.57 points in 1 week. That's crazy, dude. Crazy.
Yeah.
And if you even look at the comparison,
The
look at number
highest-
2. Number 2 in top lane, Seraph.
Yeah.
It's almost a 20-point difference.
48.
Huni probably won you
Seraph,
the week.
Seraph looked really good game 1. Seraph looked really good game 1, and then game 2 was just like kind of doing I don't know what, but they still won though, so it's okay.
Yeah. And both games he was playing Lulu,
Was
I
it?
think, right?
Yeah.
I think both games he was playing Lulu. And I don't know, it's okay. I kind of wanted to see more aggressive champs from Seraph, like kind of carrying the game
Yeah.
type stuff, but I mean, I'm not going to complain with 20 assists,
Holy
37.64
crap.
points in that first game, so it's pretty solid. I don't think any of us expected Seraph to do so well. I think the highest anybody had him was me, and I had him in 4th. And I was the only one that put
Nice.
Seraph in the top 8. Oh, Max put him in at
No,
8.
Maxim had 8.
Oh, Zisha put him in 5th.
I always knew he was good. I always knew he was good.
Yeah,
Overall, we had him like in 6, so like he was on the radar.
true.
Yeah.
Number 3, Lorlo.
And in third, yeah,
Third?
Lorlo made it to our. No, he didn't. Lorlo made it on some people's list
Yeah.
besides Max.
Sorry, bros.
Yeah, apparently we didn't believe in Lorlo, but he came 3rd, proved us all wrong. And it's mainly because he has the high kill percentage or kill participation. Like he got 3 kills all week long, but in total 21 assists gets him 42.12
Yeah.
points. So
Not a lot of deaths either.
and that's also because Team Liquid had a really, really solid week. So Team Liquid is playing really well as a team. I really like them. Number 4?
Oh, we have Charbot. For Fatality that had 2 easy games, he scored 40. So
Supposedly 2 easy games and lost 1 game. It's okay, he still got
Yeah.
more points in that loss than
he racked the stats. He racked the stats, so that's all that matters.
He was the only one that did good pretty much in that game on his team.
Kasting did really well. Spoiler alert.
I think everyone did well. They just choked at the end.
Yeah, they just lost. They just choked at the end. I think even the team scored okay. They just choked at the end.
Oh yeah.
Like, because the team overall still scored like 29.
Yeah, I'm serious. They were they were this close to winning, and then they lost.
It's okay. In
Vizichachi.
5th, the guy that nobody had him anywhere. Everyone had written off Unicorns of Love.
I had him on my bench. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
we just
really
all
good.
wrote them off.
Yeah, the main thing is just everyone wrote off of Unicorns of Love, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Solid week, though. He played really well. especially his
Against
first game.
HTK especially.
Yeah, especially against HK. Of course, against G2, it's gonna be hard to play against Kikis. Kikis is really solid. Um, but yeah, still scored 37.12 points, which is pretty good.
So at 6 we have Darshan. He didn't die all week, but he didn't score particularly well. I mean, he had like a Gnar game, which was fun to see, but he didn't really do much that game. It was like by the time he was online, it was like over already. 33 points. Yeah, 33 points for a top laner is acceptable, but then you're also airing towards like the lower side of things. So if you had Darshan, you'd be happy, but then he's not a high score by all means. For reference, Huni scored almost double Darshan did.
And just to add to that too, Zisha is the only one that guessed Darshan for 6th. So good job, Zisha, for picking that correct pick.
Did I not have Darshan? I had him at 7, whatever. Close enough.
I had him at 7 too.
I had 5.
Oh no, yeah, I had him at 5. Sorry.
Alright, close enough. Close enough. Okay, Kikis.
Yeah, he disappointed me.
Yeah.
He died a bunch.
I think we were all disappointed by
Yeah,
Kikis.
4.
We had him at
Like, no kills.
at
He
latest
died a bunch.
4th.
Yeah. Okay, with Kiki's in mind, I just want to jump forward a little bit and talk about Soaz, who was at 8. Holy crap, Soaz had 30 points this week. That's pretty good for Soaz. And we are bitching about Kiki's like scoring like 34 points, and Soaz scored 31, and we're like, holy crap, he's like the next coming of like Huni or something. That's what we call expectations coming into the week.
Yeah, Kikis.
I
Honestly,
wouldn't go that far.
he could have scored better though. Like all he needed was one more assist, and he could have been in like 30, 36, 37 points.
For 35, the 35 threshold.
Well, if he got 10 assists in game 1, he would have had those bonuses as well. So
Yeah,
but
he was close.
Yeah, 30 something points is decent. I mean, he's still 7th, top 7.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we talked about Soaz. Number 9, Impact from Energy.
Yep.
26. That's not, and the 2-point game, pretty disappointing overall.
Mm-hmm. Nothing really special between Impact and Odo Amne.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we don't really have anyone. Like, it just got really bad from here. Like,
Odo got no points in the first game.
yeah, first game was
Oh,
0.87 points. Even Impact was 2.15, so it's the second game that saved them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez. They're hurting, man. They're hurting.
Yeah, I guess like with both Impact and Odo, if you have them on your team, like you'd probably be pretty happy with like ending the week with like 26 points because the first game they got dismantled. They got like no points the first game, and you're probably like, okay, just give me like a 20-point game so I won't completely lose my week. And they delivered. You should be happy.
All right, let's move on to the jungles. Number 1 jungler for the week, Dardoch. I'm a little bit
Dardoch.
disappointed about that because I had him on my bench.
Who'd you start?
Stixay. Well, I had Trick, but I took Stixay. I took Dardoch out and I put in Stixay because I believed in CLG this week. And I did not expect...
Which is not a bad idea, but...
Yeah, I didn't
Which is not
expect
a bad
TL to
idea.
do so good. Like, I believed in Piglet, but I didn't expect TL to
Like,
do
nobody
as good
expected
as
to-
they did.
No one expected him to dumpster Cloud9 like that, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah, that was,
I didn't expect him
that
to be
was
beating
brutal.
Rush. But yeah,
That was quite brutal, honestly.
yeah, first game 18 points, that's pretty good already. 18 points, it doesn't seem like a lot, but realistically, players only average about 20 points max per game. So 18 is not that bad. And then second game, 33.78 points, that's where he surprisingly did really well against Rush. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Jungler with 50 points, I'll take it.
Number 2, Rainover. 3 of us guessed this
Nothing
one
to see
right.
here.
Max,
nothing to
myself,
see here.
and Zisha correctly guessed Rainover at number 2. Yeah, it's expected.
Randy had the right idea. Randy had the right idea. He put
Yeah.
Ring over 1. On a normal week, 46 points would probably be the top jungler.
Yep. But we believe in
Dardoch
Trick.
coming.
Trick we'll talk about in a second. But number 3,
So to be fair, Rainover did outscore Trick, so there you go.
Yes.
I was right about that one.
number 3, Jankos. Two of us, me and Max had Jankos in our third pick, so that's pretty solid. We got 2 in a row, Max. 2 in a row. They faced
Not
Unicorns.
the way I wanted it to be 2 in a row, but...
They faced UOL and Elements. Didn't do too good against UOL, but scored really well against
Lost.
Elements. So, and 6 kills, 13
Typical
assists,
game
no
novice.
deaths. Number 4, we have Trick. Trick played Splice and Unicorns. Played well in both games. A little bit aggressive. Got a lot of deaths and everything like that, but the kill participation was there, and he's solid. Trick is gonna be solid every single week. Definitely top 5 jungler in EU and in
44
EA
points. I will not complain about a 44-point week for a jungler.
Not at all.
It was a good week for junglers.
It was a good
actually
week
a very
for
good week for
junglers.
junglers.
Very good week.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wouldn't bitch about junglers scoring low until like 35.
yeah, it was really good. Even we have this guy named Crumbz. Crumbz, I don't know how.
Heard of?
None of us expected him to even get in the top 8. So him getting into top 5, completely unexpected. Even though we believed in Renegades, we didn't believe in the Crumbz.
Yeah. We're just like somehow Crumbz was just an afterthought. I don't know why. It's just like thinking back, it's like, wait, if Renegades look good, I should have Crumbz at least at like 8 or something. But
Okay, to be fair, for the split, he averages 11 points a game for the split.
Yeah.
This is with the escalated last 4 games. He still averages 11.
Yeah, Crumbz hasn't been doing
Rainover
too
averages
great.
almost
So,
21.
I mean, he's got to at least have one good week in a split, right?
yeah,
There you go. That was
this,
it.
Yeah, this just so happened to be it. He played against Team Impulse and Echo Fox, of course. Pretty easy week for Renegades. So they dumpstered those guys.
Yep.
Got himself 44 points. Number
Pretty
6.
easy for a team that went into the week with 4 wins only.
Number 6, we have Shook. Played Rocket and Splice. 37.95 points. This is pretty solid as well. You're not going to complain against this.
yes.
Not at all.
I mean, granted they lost, but then 1-5-10 is a okay score in
Yeah,
a
and
loss.
then 1-0-10. So both games he had 10 plus assists.
Yeah.
Number 7, Proxton. Didn't really expect this guy to make it in the top 10 either, did we?
Yeah, how did he get up here? Oh, I know why. Okay, first of all, the game with Renegades, I don't know what happened, but yeah, he was very involved. But then the game with Immortals, he camped the crap out of bot lane, and he got 1 trillion kills and assists from there, so he got
Yeah.
16 points.
Adrian and Wild Turtle were feeding him pretty good.
Yeah. Adrian was being pretty good.
Adrian did play really solid, but he also died a lot this week. But that's
Karma
okay.
represent though.
He still
Karma
scored
represents.
really well, but we'll get to that soon. Number 8, Lulex. I think this is the first week he's done really well.
Sure.
Nobody
Yeah.
really expected this from him
I
either.
guess the Unicorns have all found their groove a little bit.
Yeah, they team fought the crap out of HDK.
Yeah.
So he had an okay week. I mean, is it replicable? Is it consistent success? I don't know. I don't think so. But whatever reason you have Lulex in your team, that you can be happy about this.
Mhm.
You can be okay happy about this.
Number 9, Amazing. Did we even have
Didn't
Amazing?
score
in
so
there?
well for.
I think one
Nobody
of us.
cares.
One of us thought Amazing would be in the top 8. Randy.
I did.
Randy believed. You were
But no one
close.
cares.
He came in 9th.
Man, I don't know if this is a circle jerk against Origin, but even in a win in a 2-0 week where they looked super duper convincing, Amazing didn't score that well.
They didn't. Like,
just
I
go
don't
in there
know.
just to troll.
The Origin playstyle is like
How do you believe?
Origin playstyle is just like get shit on all game long, and just like hang on, keep farming until you get your items, and then just win. They just
Not this week though. They were really convincing in both weeks. I'm even going to say Amazing helped Expecke win the early game, therefore win the game, because he was the one who ganked.
Yeah.
He was the one who ganked Feathervin, blew both summoners, and then Expecke just dumpstered them with a Dark Seal. But then whatever, it didn't score well, so
And
sure. Don't take it
Xmeti
easy.
came in 10th. Yeah, he scored okay, 27.73. I mean, that's still okay.
It's a typical CLG score.
Yeah. So yeah, that wraps up the jungles. Let's move to mid. Alright, what do we have in mid? Number one, Poe
Always
Belter.
guilty.
Poe Belter!
Nobody got this right. Nobody got this right.
To be fair, we kind of had Poe Belter in second, and Nuke Duck voted in at first. So we just got it flipped.
Yeah, but it's a 9-point difference. We weren't even close.
It's closer
Walter
than the
did
20
really
point
well. He played like
difference.
2 Lulu games. He played 2 Lulu games, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he
don't
did.
remember what he
Oh
played.
well. He definitely played 1 Lulu game. No, he played 1 Lulu, 1 Corki.
Yeah,
I'm
Corki,
pretty sure he played
Corki.
1 Corki game.
He definitely played one Corki.
Yeah, the Corki game was like, Corki game was
He was like
hilarious.
beast moding.
It was
on the Corki
everywhere.
game.
Yeah.
It's a raping face.
He almost got the Penta as well too. He just needed to survive a little bit longer. I think he changed target
Oh, yeah, I
by
know he did.
accident. Otherwise, he would have got
Yeah.
at least a quadra. But yeah, he did solid. 30 points for both games. Yeah, you definitely can't complain about that. Only died twice in the entire weekend. Farmed well too, and got a triple kill. Nuke Duck also did really well.
Nuke Duck.
You're not going to complain
No
with
complaints.
55 points as well too. No deaths, and also 1 triple kill. Solid.
Oh, he had no deaths in the game against Rocket, but they lost though. Oh, I guess he stayed alive. Or okay, whatever, fine. I'll take it.
Ninja. I think this was a surprise. Yeah,
I
this
think
was
all
pretty
of
much a
Renegades was a
surprise.
surprise.
We expected them to be up there, but not up here.
Yeah. Honestly,
Not like top 5.
I don't know much about Ninja, so that's why I didn't put him in. But after this week, I definitely know him. I know the name. I know the way he plays, and like I like him a lot. He's definitely gonna be one of the top picks for mids in the drafts next season, I think.
Hold your horses, bro.
Really? You're gonna get that soaked already?
No. Not so quick. Okay, watch him in
Top
promos
5.
first. Watch him in
Top
promos
5.
first.
Top 5.
Mid?
Yeah, top 5 mids.
So, okay, we'll talk about this later, but
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. But I'm not quite sure I'll put him top 5 yet. Top 10 definitely.
I like his aggressiveness.
I'm not ready for this debate. I'm not ready for this debate.
Okay, number 4, Phoenix, Team Liquid. I think everyone slept on Phoenix.
Whatever.
Everyone slept
Regular
on
day in the
Phoenix.
office with Phoenix.
No, wait. I had him
He's
in
good at
fifth.
playing control mages.
I had Phoenix in 5th.
Did he play Azir this game? Or did he play Azir this week?
I think he did have... I don't know, actually. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, not a Phoenix. Not Phoenix, that's 7. Close enough.
But yeah, he had a really good week against Cloud9 as well. First game was pretty good too against Dignitas. He didn't have to do too much carrying. But yeah, against Cloud9, he played really, really well.
Yep.
Yeah, 42 points.
It's
I
pretty
don't
good.
think
Pretty
I
good.
don't think anyone in our league even has Phoenix on their team, which is a bit disappointing.
I had him. But then I dropped him for Nuke Duck.
Okay, 4th.
Yeah, no, I think I dropped him that week when Team Liquid was like they were like getting dumpstered on. Like they had like a period of like 3-4 weeks where they did really trash in their physical morals, and I was just like, I'm gonna drop you for
Yeah.
Feathervin. And then like that eventually became like Nuke Duck, which I'm pretty happy with. But then Phoenix is always one of those people that play like pokey control, like utility mid, well not utility mid laners, but like people that are like the Lux, the Azirs, like the Lulus. He plays those very well. So
I think
he
Phoenix
always
is
has
in.
really good KDA.
I think he's in top 15 for the entire split in points. So pretty good. If you had him,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Coming into this split, I was really high on Phoenix because he was on a tear,
Yeah.
like in season 5. Yeah, he was really good in season 5.
And we knew he had his position in lock too with like that crazy liquid 10-man roster bullshit.
Yeah.
He was one of the
Yeah.
few people we knew
It
was
took him a while
gonna
to
keep
sort
the
it out.
roster spot. 5 perks. Oh, Max and Randy got this one correct. They got perks at 5th. What did he get? 37.65 points. That's still a pretty good week. Not as good as you'd expect from perks. But yeah, still a really good week. You're not going to complain with that kind of production. 6.
Yeah, I just think they're cooling off. So
I think it's
6.
their playstyle
Ferguson?
changed a little bit, and they're not getting into as much slugfest. So
Yeah.
I think you can see everyone's stats in G2 kind of dropped a little bit this past week, and also because they won their
They're not
games quick
scoring,
too, right?
No. Like they used to score like in the 40s and 50s like
Yeah.
consistently.
Consistently. Yeah, no more
Now
slugfest.
they're
They're
like
actually going for
in the high
objectives.
30s only.
Yeah. Also, more teams are opting into the PvE lane swap type of situation. So, yeah.
Number 6, a surprise showing by Bjergsen. I think I was the
Didn't
only
he
one that
score
even
that
had
much?
Bjergsen in our top 8. It's pretty much the one game
Mhm.
against Energy that brought him in, because he kind of got shit on by Pobelter as well.
Yeah.
Not much to say. Bjergsen definitely doesn't look very happy right now at the end of games.
Yeah.
Man, TSM. Don't know what to say
He's
about
dying a
them.
bunch. 8 deaths. That's a lot.
Mhm.
4 each game. Even the game he won, he died 4 times.
40 players.
Who he for CLG? I think. How do we do that? Oh, Randy and me predicted who he had 7, so we were correct there. And Riot also predicted who he had 7, and this is the only one that they got right.
No, Riot had Hui number 1.
What?
Riot had Hui number 1, and they got that one right.
What are you talking about?
Who he? Who ni or who
Oh,
he?
Huni.
Oh,
Sorry.
who ni?
Riot
Oh,
had
you're
Hui
right.
number
You're
1
right.
for
Yeah,
top.
they did. So they had 2 people right then.
That's-
They're doing as good as Zisha.
Gotta give them props where they earned it.
Yeah. So,
Fair enough.
anyways, moving on to number 8, Ryu.
I never thought Ryu was a high point scorer. This is like typical stuff I expected, honestly, from Ryu.
The downfall of Ryu,
Well,
right?
We still had him pretty high.
Hmm?
Most of us still had him pretty high, so it's still pretty disappointing.
Yeah. He has 1 or 2 good games here and there, but then like in general, he just depends on how the game goes. There's like games when H2K plays where like mid lane just farms till the end of time, and then there are games where like everything happens mid, and there are games where Ryu just misses every single skill shot, and there are games where Ryu plays that and just destroys everyone. He's like a very volatile player.
Number 9, we have GBM. GBM. Do we have any
Okay,
faith in
well,
this guy? Doesn't
Okay,
look
he
like
got
it.
dumpstered against CLG, and then he got dumpstered against CLG, and then he dumpstered versus TSM.
Yeah. Not much to say there, but still 32 points. That's pretty solid. You're not going to complain with that. And then we go into the
Yeah, this
lower
sums
tier
up.
guys.
Yeah,
Fox.
this sums up. Sorry, I'm just gonna finish my thought on GBM.
Yeah.
This sums up energy pretty much, where there's like one game they look like geniuses, and the next game it's like, what are you guys doing?
Fox, 26.03 points. Nothing much to see here.
It's pretty garbage.
Yeah.
It's not that great for a mid laner.
All right, 80
Not
carries.
too great of a score.
80 carries. Wild Turtle, number 1. None of us
Nobody got
None
to
of us
play.
got that
Wow.
one
No one get anything in the top 3 right.
No, wait.
Not even close.
Yeah, we didn't get anything in the top 6 right.
Wow.
No, but
We were terrible with the AD one. AD carry is super surprising. Okay, Wild Turtle, maybe we should have had Wild Turtle a little bit higher, but we didn't. To be fair, Riot didn't think there was...
it was a lot of people we didn't expect.
Yeah, Wild
We didn't
Turtle was
expect
5th
Piglet
for
or
Riot.
Freeze to be here.
So, yeah, but he got 60.43 points. Died a lot in the second game because of the ganks, but crazy kill participation. Very solid.
Yep.
Piglet
He was just
also
firing
played
Jhin
really well.
ultis off cooldown.
Piglet also did really well. He got 10 plus kills in one game. Yeah, 11 kills, 1 death, 7 assists. That's a friggin' amazing game. 36.57 points. I was super happy with that. Freeze.
Anyone would be, unless it's on the other team.
Yeah, Freeze.
Oh boy, Freeze.
Renegades. I don't think anybody really expected this one. This was a pretty good week for Freeze. 32 points.
Stats were like kind of very inflated against Team Impulse with
echelon
13
teams.
assists. That's padding most of the stats.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Team Renegades is this week's Dignitas. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Except they finished.
Hjarnan, he played really well as well too. 26 and 23 points in each game. No complaints at all. Steelback.
No
Did we
complaints.
sleep on Steelback? Yeah, we pretty much
It's just
slept
that
on
one
Steelback.
game versus HTK where he had a lot of team fights, and yeah, but Steelback is always a good point scorer. Even in like a crappy team, you expect him to score pretty well.
Max correctly put Steelback into his 5th pick, so that actually bumps you up to 6 correct.
I had him at 6.
I don't even. Oh, I had him at 7th. Okay. He's been super consistent all season long, even in the games that he does lose, and I think he's in the top 10 in points, total points in the season. So, he's definitely going to be one of the top 80 carries next draft if you have room. Emperor. I think we were all really high on Emperor, so this was disappointing for us. He still played really
Still
well.
scored okay though.
Yeah, he still played really well.
Yeah.
6th place, and he still got 46.21.
Hey, just to give Riot props, they had Emperor at 46 points, and Emperor scored 46 points.
Nice.
And had him in
Give him
2nd.
credit for that one.
They had Emperor as 2nd, so that tells you how weird this week was.
Hey, but he scored 46. They
Yeah.
got that right. You gotta give him props where it's due.
Yeah.
I think the summary of this week is everyone scored to expectations minus the people that scored above expectation.
Sven, he got 43 points. Yeah, this was pretty solid for him as well with Origin. Honestly, I feel like Sven
That's where all the
plays-
kills in Origin games.
I feel like Sven plays a lot better when Peke is in the game. I think there's a lot less focus on Sven, so he's able to do
Yeah,
more.
for sure.
And I think that's one of the main benefits why they should keep Peke playing, to take off some of that pressure for Sven. Forgiven.
If Soaz wasn't so awful, maybe Sven would have some hope.
Forgiven. 38
Forgiven.
points. This is still really good. That's a 19 point per game average.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying earlier. I saw Forgiven's 9 points. Okay, first of all, I forgive my team. I saw Forgiven's 9 points. I was like, okay, please get like 20 points next game, so I can have like a 30-point week, and then I'll be like so happy. And then he scored 29 points, and I was pretty happy. So for me, this week for Forgiven was a win.
Mash on Team Impulse. I didn't expect this at all, to be honest.
Yeah, they lots of assists, lots of kills. Even though Team Impulse kind of got like murdered by Mortals, they had a pretty good early bot lane where they just kept ganking Adrian and Wild Turtle, and that kind of inflated all the kills. So yeah, Mash had a pretty good week. If you happen to have Mash for whatever reason,
Double Lift somehow snuck into top 10. Makes me kind of salty because I had Stixay in my lineup.
yeah.
I'm so disappointed.
That
in
randomly
Stixay.
super inflated game against Energy.
Yeah, even though they still lost.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on to support.
All right.
Out of nowhere.
Out of
Nope.
nowhere.
I don't recognize anybody in the top 3. I
Team
don't recognize anybody.
Liquid. Honestly,
Yeah, Liquid had a monster week.
I'm not so sure it was Matt being that good of a player, or he was just pretty much soaking up damage. That's more
I
or
think
less
Matt
what it
probably
was,
played.
right?
Okay, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure Matt probably played something like Janna against Cloud9 because that looks like a Janna score.
True.
Okay, you have a
He did.
low creep score,
He did play
aka
Janna.
didn't play a Targon support, and 20 assists looks like, oh, I gave someone a shield and I gave Piglet a shield and
Monsoon.
Piglet got a pentakill type of score.
I just
Monsoon, there we go.
Monsoon.
Yeah. This is your typical Janna stat line
That's Adrian's stat line.
versus like something like this. Okay, this like Hakuho, that's a Targon support. This is a Targon support. Probably played Thresh this game, didn't he? Alright, okay.
Yeah, but these supports did really well. The top 4 supports, all above 40
Yeah.
points. Extremely well.
No complaints. Even Vander with 37. I'd take that for a support any week.
Vander, Randy correctly picked Vander in the top 5, or in 5th. Max got Kasing in 3rd. Yeah. Honestly, although, even if we scroll down to like the final place, Hylissang in top 10, 24 points is pretty bad, but
If you
hybrid.
break 30, it's not bad for support.
Yeah, hybrid with 35 points, that's pretty good. That's 7 really good supports this week.
Yeah, like anything down to hybrid, I'd be pretty happy. Okay, so 36 points for number 7 for support. Number 7 for top laner is 33.
And you can see how it drops
good
off
week.
from hybrid to gate. That's a whole 10-point drop off.
Yeah, the number 10 support scored less points than number 10 top laner, but in general, support scored possibly better than top laners this week.
But I
And
think
look
at-
the meta has moved to like crappy supports. I mean, crappy top champions.
Look at all the
They haven't
deaths.
scored
Yeah.
well.
Look at all the deaths that the supports have. Like, Gate alone had more deaths than all of the top 7 supports. Actually, no, I lied, but it's close.
Close.
It's 10 and 14. The top 7 supports had 14 deaths in total. That's 1 death a
That's
game.
just gate, okay? That's just gate. Ignore. Like Conquan only had 5. Hylissang only had 6. That's just gate being bad.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for the supports as well. Like, a very quick recap. And I guess we can move on to our All-In Fantasy LCS League. Yes. Okay, so let's move over there. I'm going to go over to the main screen here, just so that you can see the league standings. Actually, I lied. I'm going to go back to our matchups. Okay, so let's do a recap on the matchups. Let's see. The winners and losers for this week. Winners and the losers. Coming from behind.
So beat a SU fight a whopping 70 points. 300 to 229. Exodia somehow didn't win. No, I'm joking. Of course, Exodia didn't win. The Dirty Hobo only managed to score 193. Well, Max's Yellow Star pickups scored 292. Oprah Winfrey got like decimated by Timo Sucks. 239 to 101. So overall, I don't think there were any big surprises. Everyone that was ranked higher beat the person that was ranked lower.
Yeah, it's pretty much
All right,
expected,
I guess we should talk about the matchups and our expectations going into it. Just like, talk about what you did well, your adds and drops, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
I guess I'll start off with me. I pretty much had a free win. It was basically me against myself because, like, the dirty hole was technically my Smurf. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe this week TSM is going to turn it on for playoff seeding. Therefore, I should pick up Exodia, which is like all 5 TSM members, and plus Renegades, and plus Power of Evil. And TSM did not deliver. And Huni delivered. Huni got a pentakill. But then generally this week going in, I was just going to start everyone from... The mistake I made last week where I lost to Randy was that I took the gamble on TSM. Should not have done that. Which I did again this week. But I should not have done that. Put all your Vitality players in because they are good. And then trust them to carry. And I did a 292 is a pretty good score, even with Sneaky scoring virtually nothing, and H2K kind of dropping ball this week. But in general, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I was like sweating a little bit because technically Vitality did lose a game, but then in general they turned back. And
Right.
obviously the problem with like having 3 people from the same team on your team is like, if one person sinks, your entire ship sinks. But then I'm glad I pulled through this week. Okay.
And really, realistically, if your Exodia team, if they even had a decent game 1, they could have beaten you. Like, it could have been close.
Yeah, if anyone scored like another 20 points,
Yeah, if they had like 20 points
it's like
per
if
game.
collectively if Power of Evil played 2 games and each person scored like another 20 points, I would have lost this week.
Yeah, you could have lost. I guess for my team, I had a free win as well too. I benched Vizichachi for Seraph, which was a great move. Everyone else on my team did really, really good. The only improvement I could have made is taking Stixai out for Dardoch, and then I would have been really, really good. But other than that, there wasn't too much of competition at all. It was only Pole Belter that kind of scored a lot of points. But I had such a big margin, I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah, not with G2.
Randy's matchup was a lot... No, actually, no, it wasn't close at all.
Yo, what happened, Randy?
C9 failed me. I was betting. I put everything on C9, and they
Clear-
fucking just flopped.
Clairvoyant
Jensen
Randy.
and High both flopped so hard.
Clairvoyant Randy flopped when it mattered the most.
Okay, let's assume Jensen scores like 45 points, which is probably his season average, and High scores like 30. Would you have won? So like another 20.
Because I ran into Wild Turtle and Freeze that were like all of a sudden got hot as fuck.
Oh yeah. So Zisha made
like,
the
there
good.
was-
Zisha made the good moves.
He still put in
I
Huhi
think
over
it would have been competitive.
Ninja. I told him to put in Ninja.
No, it was too
Got it.
hard.
Oh, you made the
My
right call.
strategy
Tell him to
was
put in
finally
Huhi. Because technically Ninja did better than Huhi, and you told him to put in the eventual lower score, so you weren't completely off this week.
I kept telling him, I was like, yo, you gotta believe in the Renegades. Believe in the Renegades. But he still won, so it's okay.
No, it wasn't even close. C9 completely bombed.
Unfortunately,
like a
that moves you
60-game
to
lead,
4th
Jensen.
place. Unfortunately, Randy, that moves you to 4th place
Yeah,
because
let's look
we
at the
have the
standings here.
identical records and have more points.
Look at the
You
standings
know what I
here.
think? We should have a.
Yeah.
If this was LCS, it would have went to went to the split, and I beat you twice, so I would be third.
I know.
I would have the tiebreaker.
Technically,
just so
you
you
beat me Technically, you beat me 4 times.
Okay, so let's look at the standings here. We have last place, obviously the Dirty Hobo team with Exodia, 0 wins, 9 losses. Free wins for everyone. Except for Michael's team, only got 1 win out of that. Michael's team, fuck you. 3 wins, 6 losses. We really didn't expect him to do much after he disappeared. Randy, he was in 3rd place in week 8. And as you can see, same score as Yellow Star Pickups, Max's team. 5 wins, 4 losses. And literally, like, what is the point difference that you guys have? I think
0.5.
no, it's less than that. Max, I think, beat you by 0.2 points or something like that, or 0.1 something. No. It was 0.49. 0.49 points.
Yeah, I said 0.5. Yeah, I said 0.5.
Yeah, you're right. Shit. That's literally one death.
Rounding error, man.
When Max is quiet now, I can't hear anything he's saying. He's muted. Max, you're muted.
I have better point differential. It's just with basketball, it doesn't matter.
It's literally who needs pentakill.
What can I do?
Hooney
He
carried.
needed 2 pentakills for me to beat you.
And
To
this
be
is
fair, I started 0-3.
and
So
I know.
let's not forget that it was also Hooney's pentakill that beat me.
So I
those
literally
game-saving
piggybacked
pentakills.
off 2 pentakills to get where I am. So
To get the bronze.
I've lost in everything except officially. I don't feel good about being 3rd place.
And there's only 2 pentakills this entire spring split. Max is the owner of both of them. So good job.
I win the
Good
pentakill.
job, Max. We have Zisha's team, Timo Sucks, 7 wins, 2 losses, which is a tie with me with 7 wins, 2 losses. And except I had almost like 70 something points above him. So no, more than that, like 130 points above him. So it was really hard for him to catch up anyways, unless I completely shit the bed this last week. So, yeah, I win. We
Alright.
are the champions.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do next week. Okay, here's what we're going to do next week on the podcast. We're going to break down our week by week or something like that, and we're just going to talk about our decisions and like what we have learned. Essentially, we should interview Randy because he went from 0-3 to like really good. So we've got a lot to learn, and like you can also learn a lot of what not to do from me because I started like I was being completely ridiculous. But anyways, let's break out. Okay, next week on deck we're gonna break down our week by week and talk about what we did well, what did not do well, etc., etc. And we're also gonna figure out what the winner is gonna make the loser to.
And you'll also find my secret in winning LCS, Fantasy LCS.
Yes.
And you can
Yes.
take my secrets into the summer split and win again, because I know I'm gonna win again.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of things I want to talk about already.
Renegades.
There's a lot of things I want to talk about
Renegades.
in terms of like things I've learned from my first LCS split.
Yeah, I think we definitely learned
I
a lot.
just got here, so
It was all of our first times playing Fantasy LCS, and I think for the summer split coming up, it's going to be a little bit interesting as well with the best of 3 in NA, best of 2 in EU. I have a couple of theories at how that's going to work out at least, so maybe we'll talk about that next week as well too.
to be fair,
Or
this is
we
my
can
first
talk about it
time
in our new
following
segment.
fantasy.
Oh yeah, we can.
This is the first time I've ever followed fantasy League of Legends. So I knew nobody coming in. I
That's
randomly
true.
dropped almost everybody that I drafted.
Yeah, you made some pretty bad drops, but but yeah, well now you know for summer split. All right, so
I
yeah,
think
that's,
next split is going to be a lot more interesting, a lot more competitive.
yeah, and we'll try to get a full 6-man league. That way we can be super competitive with everyone and not have any throwaway teams. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap for today. Max, you want to sign us out? Or do you guys have any shout-outs or anything like that? Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the viewers, everyone that's been watching. If anybody even makes it this far in our podcast to watch us, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. And I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. I don't even know why we started off like the season and episode and stuff like that because I guess we didn't really have a direction when we first started. We were about to like make this like, kind of League of Legends related content, but then we were like, hey, you know what? When LCS started, we had no time to talk about League related content. We just focused on LCS instead. So yeah, we'll have clarity improvements next season or next split.
Definitely.
Okay,
So,
I have a
yeah,
shout out. I have a shout out. Look out for me in bronze rank games. See me Smurf. I'm gonna mess you up.
All right. Wrap it up.
Okay, so it's been a fun 9 weeks playing Fantasy LCS. We've all learned a lot, and you know, if you're watching our podcast for like information on what to do and what not to do, I can't say we're right all the time, but we damn well sure had a very fun time doing it. So we just thank you for not only for tuning in for this week of Fantasy LCS, but Fantasy LCS podcast, but also joining us for the entire 9 weeks. We had a lot of fun making it. We started off with like basically crap and like really poor production and content quality, but we've come a really long way. But we're always looking for room for improvement. So let us know what you like, what you didn't like in the comments below, or send us a message, or like stalk us on League of Legends and send us a message that way, or like however you kids message each other these days. Like us, thumbs up or thumbs down. Let us know. Give us constructive feedback. Share this. Share this video with your family, your friends, or whatever, your significant other, or like your dog, or whatever. And yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we can hopefully, see you guys next split. We definitely will, and hopefully you don't run into us in an actual normal or ranked game in, vanilla League of Legends Summoner's Rift, because you are about to lose.
Unless you're on the opposite team.
We will continue. Yes, then you'll be very happy. And then if you bend us over and destroy us in a ranked game, then you please subscribe to us and at least give us this little bit of dignity, please. And yeah, we probably do this every Monday night in terms of the Fantasy LCS podcast, and we're going to keep going during the off season to talk about other stuff. We also want to mention that we're in the works of creating a new segment which is more related to competitive LCS news and news around the League of Legends scene. And yeah, it's all talk right now. We haven't figured out exact logistics, but
that's
pay attention to
be really sloppy when
your
we start
YouTube
off as well. But hopefully it'll be more fun content for you guys to watch.
Yeah, granted, our episode 1 of like whatever podcast we're running right now has been like pretty crappy to start off with. So it's always gonna be like that learning curve, but we hope you can stick around.
I think it'll at least be better than Josh Augustine's work. If you guys don't like reading his stuff every week,
right now, man.
If you guys don't like watching his stuff every week, watch the podcast instead. Nobody gets this far in the videos anyways.
No bridge burning. Mute this guy. Someone mute this guy.
Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out, and tune in next week. Yeah.
Alright, see you guys.